Daddy born poor, Mama was too. Walking through the snow, plastic bags on their shoes. Papa selling houses, sleeping in a car. Four babies in the back seat, underneath the stars. Well, hey, hey, just work a little harder. Hey, hey, punching that clock with work and prayer and a little bit of luck. Make so much money, need a 10-ton truck. Ha 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 ha.
Good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. It is Thursday, May 25th, 2023. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself by teaching you how to successfully currency trade using our highly accurate proprietary trading indicators. And we're so confident in our ability to train you to trade successfully that once we've trained you, we'll let you trade with company cash and split what you make. This session, we will go through a trade. We've got a dozen different trade strategies. There's one that I specifically trade, something called the 10-point trade. And we will go through that trade and see what we come up with this morning. Before we get going, we need to listen to this guy, and then we'll be ready to start.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the things that makes us a little different and that I really like about the program is that we do these live trade sessions where someone comes online, walks you through trade analysis. Somebody who's experienced comes online and walks you through a trade analysis so that you can evaluate for yourself how accurate the indicators are. And if it's for you, when you become a member, in addition to the sessions that I do, you will also have access to, we do a live trade every morning at 10 a.m. We also do another live trade every evening at 10 p.m. And then as with any person who is good at what they do, there is constant coaching and feedback. So every Wednesday evening, we've got an advanced member session. And every Saturday morning, we have something we call Back to the Basics, where we review a specific strategy and take questions to help you become the best version of yourself. Just so I can stay focused, I have a little trade routine that I like to follow. And every day I like to restart my green chart to keep my memory, clear out the memory so everything is kind of operating fast, and also pick up any updates that may have happened on the program. Good practice at the end of every day is to take a look at the trades that didn't go your way and try to figure out why. With the simulator, we can always go back to the specific time that we took the trade and look at specifically what we were looking at and do a little analysis there. And because you are working with us, if you can't figure it out, we can take a look and give some feedback. Many times people have showed me their trades and they were doing the trade wrong. So, it's again, being able to get that feedback, incorporate it, and have somebody who's interested in what you're doing be able to take a look at what you're doing. Sometimes you can be doing everything right and still get it wrong, but we want to minimize we want to minimize the times where we make mistakes. As we are technical traders, which means we are trading, our indicators are very good at picking up the price action, telling us, giving us an indication of which direction the market's moving in. And if we can get that direction right, we can make some money. But news impacts currency values. So we want to know what news is coming out so that we can trade around it. And the best place to get that news is forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com breaks news down into 3 categories. Yellow, which is low impact, orange, which is medium impact, and red, which is high impact. And it's these high impact ones that tend to can move the market. And specifically, it's a function of what the expectation for the number is supposed to be versus what it actually is. So it's very, very hard to predict. And because of that, I don't want to be in the market when the news is announced, and especially on times when it's something like unemployment claims. This number is already figured out. They know this number. Somebody's sitting on this number, and they're just going to release the number at 8:30. What happens is the number starts. People are connected to people who know what this number is. It starts leaking out early, and people start trading on it early, and it starts to skew things. So rather than try to fight what's going on there, I find it easier just to stay out of it. So this morning at 8:30, we've got GDP, and we've got unemployment claims. So we are not going to trade the USD this morning. So let's everything else we've got kind of clear sailing till tomorrow morning, where there's another USD item at 8:30. So usually the day before a holiday, trading is slow because everybody takes off early. So I would minimize your trading, or I'm not going to be trading too much. And then on Monday, I'm not going to be trading, and we won't do a trading session on Monday afternoon on a bank holiday. So with that, let's get in and take a look. The signal I'm going to use is something called the 10-point trade signal. I like to trade it off of a 1-hour chart. I'd like to be 30 minutes into the chart so that the indicators have 30 minutes to form. And typically off of a 1-hour chart, you can get anywhere from 5 to 35 pips on the trade. My sweet spot is 10 to 11 pips. If it's under that, I generally won't take the trade. The only times I do is if we're doing a live trade and I want to give you something, get you a successful trade. I might take a 5-pip trade. On a 1-hour chart, it's going to take anywhere from 1 to 3 hours for the trade to close. And what I'm trying to do is get all the lines from each of the 3 sections of the chart to line up and tell me that the move is in that specific direction. And if I can get the direction right, I can make some money. And all I need is a couple good trades a day, and we will be successful. If you're not following the overnight trade setup that I send out, you should get on the list so that you get it sent out. I send it out. I try to send it out a little bit after 4. Last night's trade was on the Euro USD. It closed profitably. All right, so let's jump in. This chart I'm trading off of is this light 6 major, which is one of the standard charts. And I am looking for situations where I'm going to start with the middle section of the chart. And this chart is called the majors and minors. The red and green line is the major indicator. The black and gray is the minor indicator. And I am looking for situations where these lines are either below this horizontal red line, which is the oversold line. And if they're below the line, I want them pointing up, kind of like they are now. Or if they're above the blue line, which is the overbought line, I want them pointing down. And if I have that situation, then I'm going to kind of go to the next step of the analysis. So here, miners made it to over sold. They're going up quite steeply. The majors didn't quite make it to oversold. And the green line is going up, but the red line is hard. Oops, if you haven't muted yourself, please mute yourself. Let's see here. The red line is horizontal, so this is kind of sideways versus up. When I say up, I want the green line to be more than 45 degrees. This is a little bit less than 45 degrees. And also, I want both lines going up, and I actually want the green line to have crossed over the red line, and we don't have that here. So we're going to pass. If I don't have the first phase of it, I don't need to look at the rest of it. I'm just going to keep going on to the next section. So Euro USD, we're midway into the channel, and it looks like it's starting to turn. So we're going to pass. Pound USD, overbought. Everybody's going down. And I have that double cross I was talking about, where the red line's crossed over the green, and the black line is crossed over the gray. The line here is a little more steep than 45 degrees. The green line, I mean. And the lines are clustered. I like it when the lines are clustered. That's kind of a plus. And I like it when they're entering the channel. That's kind of a plus to me versus when they're gapped. So I got 3 points here. When I have 3 points here, I'm going to jump up to my TNTs, and I want to count how many lines are telling me sell. And I want to have at least 3 of the lines telling me sell. So the thick orange line, each of these lines are measuring something different. So the 2 orange lines are telling me sell. On the blue lines are inversely related. So when blue is going up, that means sell. So the thick blue is going up. So the thick blue and the 2 orange lines are telling me sell. Dotted blue is almost horizontal, but it's going down a little bit. So I get 3 out of the 4, and I need a minimum 3 out of the 4. Then I'm going to jump down to the pressure to see if it's also telling me sell. And for the pressure to be telling me sell, I want the lines going down, or I want the red line on top. And here we've got kind of very weak up pressure. The green line is kinked. The lines are converging. The red line is eventually, maybe next hour, is going to cross over the green line, but we don't have it here. So we've got kind of weak up pressure. What also makes the pressure weak is that there's a gap in the lines. The pressure is stronger the closer these lines are together, and the steeper the lines are. So we have nothing here. So this is a nice setup, but I don't have that third element that I'm looking for to give me confidence in this trade. And that's okay. So let's just keep going and see what we find. And the reality is we're not going to take a trade on the USD this morning because of that news item. But as this is in addition to wanting to give you a trade, this is a teaching moment. So I want you to kind of get how I think about things when I'm looking at this. USD Canadian dollar oversold, and miners are kind of going up. Majors are sideways, so nothing there. USD Swiss franc, we're in the middle of the channel, and the majors are losing steam. You've got more steep here to less steep here to even less steep. There's 2 kinks in these lines. I want the steepness on the line to increase, not decrease if it's going up. USD yen, we're almost reaching the overbought line, so we're going to pass. So I've cloned this chart and made a new chart that has non-USD pairs in it. So the euro pound oversold. Both the majors and minors are going up. Minors have entered the channel. Minors have entered the channel. Majors are about to enter the channel. I like the green line because we're going from less steep to more steep. So I've got a nice 3 points here. Jumping up to the TNTs, the two orange lines, the thick and the thin, are going up. Thick blue coming down, dotted blue coming down. So all four are telling me buy. And I've got down pressure, and the green is touching the red. The green is touching the red. It hasn't quite crossed over. I like this enough where, because we're touching, I'm going to consider this a point. Ideally, I'd like it to be, the green to be actually over the red, which it's not quite yet, but it is touching. So the next part of the analysis is if I see the first part of the setup, I want to confirm the setup. And I'm going to confirm the setup by going to the 2 and the 4 hour chart. So we've got the euro pound, and it's still daytime in both of these markets. In Great Britain, there's a 5 hour difference, and in Europe, it's between a 6 and 7 hour difference, depending on where in Europe we are. So to look at the full chart, I am going to go here, euro, Great Britain pound. So this is what we were just looking at, the 1 hour chart. And on the 2 hour and 4 hour chart, basically I want to see that we are oversold. So if we're oversold here, I want to see that we're oversold here. It doesn't need to be pointing up like this one is. This is kind of a plus that it's pointing up, but I want to confirm that we're oversold. And the reason I want to confirm that we're oversold is that if this weakens or softens up, we'll still get the trade off of the 2 or the 4 hour chart. It's just going to take longer to happen. So my goal is to get in 1 to 3 hours. If I'm trading on a 1 hour chart, it should take no longer than 3 hours to move from here to here. But on a 2 hour chart, it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 6 hours to move through the channel. So it'll just take longer. So I've got support on the 2, and we're just about oversold. The green line has gotten into the oversold territory and has turned. So this meets my second criteria. I've got the confirmation that this is a good buy. So once I've determined that I've got the confirmation, then I need to figure out what the trade is worth. And unlike the trade that we teach you in the trial with the 5 and the 1 minute chart, this isn't an automatic trade where I know what it's worth. I need to figure out what it's worth. So I'm going to look at a clean chart and make that calculation. And let's see. So euro, Great Britain pound. And one of the things I need to do is I need to drop support and resistance in here. Support and resistance are spots where the candles seem to naturally stop. And to drop those support and resistance, I want to kind of crunch up the chart so I have more data points to draw my lines against. So I'm going to just eyeball this and try to draw where the lines seem to naturally stop. And where these spots are become the limits of where I'm going to trade within. So here, it seemed to stop here, stopped in here, stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, over here. And they tend to be about 30, 40 pips apart on a 1 hour chart. So that becomes the range without which I'm going to trade within. So 68 or 86, 68 to 86. Ooh, that's only to 86, 86. So that's only about 20 pips. It's stopping in here, stopped in here, stopped over here, over here, over here, over here. So once I've got a couple spots, I'm going to then break it open so I can see it better. And what kind of trend? I want to know what the trend is. So the trend is like the direction of what it's been trading over the last several days. So we had a kind of a big downtrend last week. It seemed to turn, and then it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we don't really quite have a trend. The last trend that we did have was a downtrend. And the reason I want to know that is if I'm trading against the trend, I don't want to trade against the trend because I don't want to get stuck. I'm going to take less pips if I'm trading against the trend. And so here we are. And then I want to take a look and know how much do I have before I hit this line. So here I've got 11 pips up and 7 pips down. 11 pips up and 7 pips down. And you can see the lines, the bouncing where the lines bounce, like here, over here. You know, it's bouncing in here, it's bouncing in here. So these are pretty good lines. Over here, it's bouncing. Let's save this. And you know what? I forgot to save the other one. So we're going to have to redo that. I want to look at the chart one more time before we decide. So we get 11 pips up. And we don't have a clear trend up to here. We've got still 11 pips. Oops, no. Let's take this off. Oh, it's moving up while we're talking here. 9 pips. 9 pips to the top of that candle. Save this and let's go back here. Euro, pound. All right, we're going to take a 9 pip buy, on the Euro pound. You can do that on your simulator, or if you're using MetaTrader 4, we can do it on MetaTrader 4. So I am going to, I don't have the Euro pound open here, so I'm going to go to File, New Chart, and it'll probably be in this third group, Euro pound. Oh, I don't see it there. Maybe in the second one. Euro pound. It's in the second group here. I'm going to change it to a 1 hour. Put this guy away. All right. So I am going to take a market. I'm going to go to the second row here. Click on New Order. Market Buy. This is a demo account. It's got 9,500 in it. I am going to move the decimal spot over 4 places. I can trade anywhere from half of a 0.95 to double that. Because we may take another trade. I am going to trade at the 0.95. It's going to be a market buy. So I just click market buy. It records the buy. I am going to right click on the order, go to modify, left click. It brings up this little screen. We said we were going to go for 9 pips. 9 pips equals 90 points. I click the little blue button and it does the math for me. and we're going to use a 3-to-1 for a stop loss. So 27 pips or 270 points. Put that in here. Then I click this big blue bar, and it's going to drop the lines in for me. And I am going to push this up just a little bit because I want to get to the top of this candle. So I'm going to modify this, and I'll give you what the exact number is in just a second. Bring it down just a hair. And the other thing I'm going to do is I want to see how this candle over here, the stop loss is touching this candle. I want to bring it outside that. So I'm going to just pull it down just a little bit below that because I don't want to get stopped out. And I've got less of a chance of getting stopped out if I'm outside of this. So we have taken a buy on the euro pound with a take profit of 0.86857. That's 0.86857, and a stop loss of 0.86464. So stop loss of 0.86464. Let's see if we still have 5 minutes left. Let's see if we have another trade. I am going to jump horses and show you show you another trade strategy. As I said, we have about a dozen. We're going to customize or create a customized trade plan for you. This trade is a little scalp trade. It's called the thick orange line trade, and it is good. I take it off of a 1-hour chart. You can also take it off of a 30-minute chart, and it is good right before the top of the hour when there is less than 5 minutes left in the hour. When there's less than 5 minutes left in the hour, and you can see there's 3 minutes right now. And I am looking for situations where the thick orange line is at one end of the scale or the other end of the scale. And this number is a scaled number. So when it's as high as it can go, it's at 10. When it's as low as it can go, it's at 0. So so I'm looking for situations where the number is either 10 or 0 or within 1 point of it. And if we're at so here we're at 9, so we are within 1 point of 10. Once I see this, then I am going to confirm it by looking at the TNTs, and I want the red line to be above the blue line here, and it's not. So this is telling me that there's more up. This is telling me that the up is maxed out. So I don't have agreement here. 3.7 isn't close enough. 9. So this is maxed out. It's telling me it doesn't think there's much more up in the movement. But my majors are down below the red line. I want them above the blue line. 8.7, yes. And you can see my lines here are clearly above, but I'm not within that 1 point. We're a little bit off. I want this to be 10 or within 1 point, and these lines to be up here like they are, but I don't have it. 6 isn't close enough. 7.9 isn't close enough. Let's go to another group. I'm not going to look at the Euro US, anything with the USD, because we've got that news. 6 isn't close enough. 9, yes. So 9.5. And my lines are almost there. I want the red line above the blue line. I want the red line above the blue line. The green line's above the blue line, but the red isn't. And actually, I want it high, a little bit higher than this. So nothing there. 3, no. 1.7, no. 0.6, yes. 0.6 NZD USD. Oh, man. NZD USD. So this is within 1 of 0, and these lines are where I want them. The issue is, let's just take a look. NZD USD, what the spread is. So file, new chart. NZD USD. Oh, the spread is good. Boy, I'm real tempted. This trade, what's going to happen is there's a little snap when this is at zero and this is overbought. It's like pulling an elastic. When the clock changes in 11 seconds, there's a little snap, and it's good for 5 pips. But sometimes it may take an hour for it to go. And since we're in this, we get that news. But this is the setup. This is the setup, and boom, you can see we would have got that. We're very close to getting that 5 pips, or would have been very close to getting that 5 pips. But better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather skip a trade than take a trade that's going to tie up my capital, because I can have 2 open trades at a time. And if I'm in a bad trade that it's taking longer to get out, there's an opportunity cost to that, in that I can't take another trade because I got my capital tied up in this one trade, and I need to get out of this one trade before I can get into the next. So unless I'm pretty sure about the trade, I'd rather skip it, because I only need 2 or 3 good trades a day. All right, so that the trade that we took on the euro pound is a little bit negative, but give this 3 hours and we should be okay. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. It is an honor to spend some time with you a few days a week. Have a good Memorial Day, and we will see you again next Tuesday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.